You are
justice.
the worst reporter. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile
Well,
on
I'm
your face.
asking you about survival.
I think she's a great journalist, a great correspondent.
Does she
very
smile?
Fair. She smiles all the
Does
time.
she
Oh my
but she
God,
doesn't
you're
smile
being
when she's
such
talking.
a baby,
she
dude.
doesn't.
You could just say
she
it's
doesn't
bad when the
smile when.
president's
Well, hang
yelling
on,
at a
hang on.
woman for not
Let me,
smiling.
Cameron. I'll come to you, Cameron.
Oh no!
I'll come to
I
you.
cracked a joke. Oh, cracked a joke.
Yeah,
oh
here's my point.
Oh.
Let's just turn to another issue. Andrew, I'll come to you on this. A clip of last night. This is in the Oval Office, I think. It's Donald Trump attacking CNN's Caitlyn Collins for not smiling.
You know, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
But what would you say to people
like
who feel like they haven't gotten
healthcare
justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead,
What would you say to
are
the
so
survivors
bad.
who feel like they haven't gotten
You are
justice?
the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile
Well,
on
I'm
your face.
asking you about survivors.
You know
of
why?
Jeffrey
You
Epstein,
know why you're
Mr.
not
President.
smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
These are survivors of abuser.
Now, Andrew, full disclosure, I know Caitlyn a bit. I used to do the 9 o'clock slot at CNN. She does that now. I think she's a great journalist, a great correspondent.
Does she
very
smile?
fair. She smiles all the
Does
time.
she smile?
Oh my
but she
God,
doesn't
you're
smile
being
when she's
such
talking.
a baby,
she
dude.
doesn't,
You could just say
she
it's
doesn't
bad when the
smile when.
president's
Well, hang
yelling
on,
at a
hang on.
woman for not
Let me,
smiling.
Cameron, I'll come to you,
Oh
Cameron.
no!
I'll come to
I
you.
cracked a joke. Oh, I cracked a joke.
Yeah,
oh
here's my point.
Oh.
Andrew, here's my point. Donald Trump has taken in the last sort of year or so to being pretty offensive to female correspondents in particular. Should he do that, or should he be a little bit more respectful?
Yeah, Trump's whole stylistic is being very combative with media. It's one of the things that really worked with him as a strategy in dealing with them. It's one of the most endearing parts of Trump when it comes to the American public's perception of him is the fact that he's extremely combative with the media. And let's not pretend that it's not a big game on both sides. Both sides are playing it. They both enjoy it. It's like a game of cat and mouse, right? Can I get Trump's goat? Oh, I did. Trump kind of had a little go off on me. Now it's big news, right? It's part of the combative nature that he has with the media. It's probably one of the guy's most endearing qualities, honestly. I know everybody is always freaking out about it, but that's the thing that the kids call aura, right? The whole idea that he can have these engagements with these media personalities and it goes viral and people are laughing and they're having a good time. I mean, it's part of this guy's personality, always has been.
I mean, Lydia, I don't think for a moment Caitlyn will lose any sleep over it. She's a tough cookie. I think she'll probably be quite enjoying the attention on it. It just makes her a little bit more famous and probably gets more people tuning in. But as a woman yourself, if you were disparaged in that way by the President of the United States, whoever it was, would you think that's the right way to talk to female correspondents, female journalists, if you're the president?
If I was advising Trump, I would not encourage him to do that. Yeah, you don't want to comment on people's appearances, tell a woman to smile. That's just not what he should be focused on. But I guess I understand the point of a lot of folks in the MAGA base want to see him sort of own the libs and own the media. But I think there's a way of doing that in a way that isn't offensive to a woman and her
you don't think
decision
it's hilarious?
to smile
You don't
or
think
frown.
you don't think that that's hilarious? Like, it's objectively hilarious when he has these exchanges with media. And media kind of, I've seen them go out of their way to kind of make the exchanges happen even because they know it's going to be all over the news. It's news itself when he has these exchanges with these various women. And I mean, are you really pretending that it's not hilarious? It is hilarious, right?
Andrew, let's just acknowledge.
I don't think it's
on,
objective. I think
hilarious.
it's
I don't think
subjectively
everybody
hilarious.
does.
And obviously, you feel that way. There's a lot of people who feel that way. If I was advising Trump, I would not encourage him to take that tack.
I mean, you're smiling right now because you know it's funny, but whatever. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, but I do think it's important. Okay, I'll come to Joe, but I do think it's important to remember that as Caitlyn pointed out, it got a bit drowned out, but she was asking him a question about the Epstein survivors. That is not something you would normally crack a smile about it as you did it. I don't dispute that Trump's style is popular with people, and sometimes he makes me laugh. I do find it a little bit ugly, I have to be honest, Joe, the way he's gone after some of these female correspondents. And knowing Caitlyn, I think she's one of the fairer ones anyway. I never see bias with her. It's not like when Jim Acosta used to, literally game those Oval Office pressers and try and make a name for himself.
Yeah, there are a lot of people out there who want to be
the
the story. She's not one of them.
Well,
No.
we saw it. Well, we saw it with Don. We actually saw it with Don Lemon as a classic example, which I was going to come to, because Don Lemon actually almost happened by going so hardball after Don Lemon. Joe, it's turned him into a martyr, and it's revived his whole career. He's now on Jimmy
Completely.
Kimmel. He's now doing all these big interviews. He's getting big numbers for his YouTube show and so on. I mean, the only winner out of all that is Don Lemon.
Completely, Pierce. Absolutely, completely. He's taken Don Lemon to another level in the stratosphere because he went after him on a case that I think will be dropped. Before you get to Lemon, and I know people want to talk about Lemon, again, this point needs to be made. I agree with Andrew. I know there are a lot of people who love that Trump does this, and I know there are a lot of people who find it funny. But it is also ugly because he has a particular long-standing habit of attacking the physical appearances of female reporters. There ain't nothing funny about that. Miss Piggy, hey, Miss Piggy from a couple months ago, he said to a female reporter, "Shut up, Miss Piggy." Come on, that's not funny.
Yeah, it is.
No, and
It
he
is
wouldn't
funny.
find it funny. Well,
Hang on,
Andrew,
it
if someone
was
said,
funny. It
but Andrew,
was
if somebody,
funny.
okay, but if somebody said that about someone called Melania Miss Piggy, for example, Trump would go nuts, right? So,
Sure.
let's be clear. He wouldn't find it funny the
And
other way
if he
around.
did go nuts about that, that would also be funny. The thing is like, I think I think we're like missing the forest through the trees here, right? Yes, it was funny. It was hilarious. It went uber viral. Everybody was talking about it. And a lot of people were laughing about it because it was really funny. It's very unorthodox the way he engages with people, and it's very different. And because of that, people pay close attention to it because they think it's hilarious. And it's like, I'm tired of pretending that it's not. I talk to leftists all the time. They get so upset about this stuff, and it's like, come on. People, even I know a lot of them must laugh when they watch. Like Pierce, there's some of those exchanges, you got to laugh at them, don't you?
Of course I do. Listen, I spoke
yeah.
to Trump 3-4 days ago. He called me for a chat. He made me laugh out loud 3 or 4 times. The guy, actually was very interesting. It was a comedian last week. I can't remember who it was. It was a comedian who said that he speaks to a lot of comedians on the circuit, on the big pro circuit, and they all agree that whatever you think of his politics, Trump is a natural, brilliant comedian. They all agree. They think his comedic timing, his spontaneity, his ability to make a crowd laugh is like nothing they've seen in any politician. And I think that
Pierce,
comes
did
off
you
as
think
a
it was
humor.
funny yesterday? Pierce, did you think what he said about Caitlyn to Caitlyn was funny?
Because I know Caitlyn wouldn't care, and I know she didn't. I texted with her afterwards because I know she wouldn't care. I just thought she'll just think it's funny in terms of she doesn't care.
Did you
She's
think
not
when he
being
called the
wounded or-
female reporter Miss Pierce, you didn't think that was
No,
funny?
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't think that was funny. No, I don't think being derogatory about a woman's looks when they're professional journalists trying to do their job. I just think it crosses it crosses a line of just being a gentleman, right? And I don't think you should, if you're a man. Why would you want to be that guy?
But
Cameron,
the
let me
same
come to
media
you, 'cause-
groups, these same media groups attack him overwhelmingly over his appearance. They attack Melania over her appearance. They attack him all day and all night. These are representatives of these media
that's the
companies.
point.
And Trump's like,
Andrew,
I'll give him a little smack back. And
I
they're
know.
like, oh my God, how could he? It's just ridiculous.
I think that's a very fair point. I was about to make it to Cameron, which is if you look at the coverage of the Melania movie, some of the reviews have been savagely personal about her, including how she looks, even though, to me, whatever you think of the Trumps, if you can love them or hate them, Melania, to me, as a fashion icon, is up there with Jackie Kennedy. I mean, she's just the most stylish first lady since Jackie Kennedy. You can't argue that fact to me. But the Trump derangement syndrome, and I think I may say this with respect, I think you might be a bit of a sufferer of this, means that all bets are off when it comes to the Trumps, right? You can say what you like about them. And therefore, as Andrew said, when the response is to feign outrage when it comes back a bit, it's like, well, okay, but you've been calling him a Nazi for years. Everyone's been hammering Melania in these reviews. You know, what's the difference?